Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on Ye Olde Bravs. Hi, everybody. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing today? You look like you're podcasting from heaven.
I am. I'm podcasting from just no green screen today. Just here in front of some curtains. What's going on with you?
I'm just here in front of reality, guys. Okay, so that's where I podcast from. My reality.
Good.
Everybody, welcome to the show today. It's a huge day on the show because it is the day we've all been waiting for. The day where Kyle Richards finally becomes honest and tells us what's going on in her life. I know she's been dragging it out, but this is Kyle Richards of Open and Honest Kyle. So surely we're going to get a big payoff at the end of this season that has been revolving around what's going on with Kyle. She's been dragging it out, but today we are going to get all of our answers, all of our questions answered. I'm so exciting. How about you, Ben? You excited?
Beyond thrilled.
We're gonna get it.
Just full of adrenaline coursing through my veins. I'm
Guys,
beside myself.
We are going to get our bi curiosity answered. what would you resolved? What would you call it? Your curiosity.
By curiosity
quenched.
Fulfilled.
Curiosity
Quenched. Sated. It's going to be the best hour of our lives.
I can't wait. Okay, everybody. So we're doing a live show in LA, and it's going to be for Netflix Comedy Festival, and it's going to be fun and chill at the Kookaburra Lounge, and that's in Hollywood. It's our friend's new club. We're so excited to be doing that. That's at the beginning of May, and then in the end of May, we're going to Europa. We're going to go to London, Dublin, and Birmingham. So come see those. Get tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com. Also, as usual, we're on video today. Hi. You can watch these videos on Crappens On Demand over on our Patreon. That's also where you get bonus episodes. We will be doing a bonus episode today. And we will also be talking about more alcoholism on Summer House. Bravo is just bringing us alcoholism accusations just out the wazoo. I'm just so excited to talk about vodka for the next 4 hours straight. So let's get to it, Ben.
Oh, I am ready for Summer House later this week. My body is ready. Let's get to it. Some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The reunion is picking up. So Andy has just asked Kyle if Teddy does her dirty work for her. Of course, we know the answer is yes. And so Andy's asking Sutton. He's like, so Teddy commented on your drinking. She says, yes. She said I have vodka in my purse, which is a lie. I have vodka and gin.
Does it count if they're just tiny bottles? No, doesn't. Okay. Serving size matters, Andy. Okay. It's not like I have one giant bottle of Tito's in my purse. I have 5 tiny bottles of Belvedere. Okay. And so she's very, very offended. And of course, Teddy's an idiot. And who cares what Teddy says? Oh, and by the way, everybody who's saying that Joe from Vanderpump Rules is the new Teddy, how dare you? Joe has more personality in her pinky finger than Teddy ever had on this show. Now, I don't know Teddy in real life. And now she's a fellow podcaster. So I'm not dissing her in that way because I don't know, only respect. Hi, peers. But as far as like a housewife person, it's fucking Teddy. Who cares? And don't compare Joe to Teddy. Joe's interesting.
Wait, why are people comparing Joe to Teddy? That's so like I don't understand the link.
They say that they look just alike.
No, I think Joe looks like Molly Baz. That's my hot take for today, guys.
Molly Baz? Who's that?
Cookbook author. She's very annoying.
Molly Baz.
Does great recipes. Great recipes. Very annoying personality.
Molly Baz. I'm going to look at her. Oh, just onesie. She does kind of look like her.
We talked about
this girl. Oh, yeah, I know who this girl is. I've watched her on the YouTube before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, where my homies at? She's like, she's ridiculous.
Her profile says, I'm a cook, video host, recipe developer, cookbook author, weenie lover, and Caesar salad enthusiast.
Yeah. I mean, her recipes are great. Her recipes are so legitimately great, but her, like, It's like, but they're all incredibly annoying recipes. You've
Not her
never
delivery.
seen a more annoying recipe than a Molly Baz recipe. And damn it, they're all so wonderful.
Okay, so is Sutton an alcoholic? I don't know. I find it hilarious that Sutton is so offended that someone said she carries alcohol around in her purse when she carries mixers around in her purse.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just carry it. It's like, I don't carry crack in my purse. I only carry the crack pipe.
Yeah, it's like I'm linking up with someone else who has the crack. I love Sutton's reaction to that. So Andy's like, so what's she doing? Your dirty work? And Kyle's like, absolutely not. Well, you could have said no, she doesn't, Teddy. You could have said that, Kyle. She goes, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing for her. I don't know why she said what she means by I'm not doing for her, but she starts
she was going to start
defending.
going off, but she's interrupted, and Sutton's like, well, you could have been a better friend in that moment. Have you not watched his show? Kyle is always throwing alcoholics under the bus. That's what Kyle does on this show, okay? It's classic Kyle. This is season 13, okay? Season 1 ended up in the back of the limo. You are a goddamn alcoholic is what you are. And why should it change 13 years later? People don't change, okay?
I know. Sutton's saying you could have been a better friend in that moment. How about you could have been a better friend over the past 13 years to literally everyone on this show?
You could have been a better drink in that moment. I mean... Wait a minute. Teddy made me say that. So Kyle's like, listen, I didn't say anything. Like, you know what? I didn't say anything about that. But also, there are like a lot of things that I could have said, and I didn't say that. So how about that? How about that? So
right,
not only did I insinuate you're an alcoholic, now I'm insinuating that you're probably more than an alcoholic. And I could have said that, but I'm not really saying that. So you can't be mad at me for not saying it because I just insinuated it right now.
I think that insinuating that I have a drinking problem and I'm an anorexic and that I've made it my foot problem and that I take pills, I think that's all bad. And Kyle's like, I never said any of those things. I just merely smirked and said, I don't know, anytime someone brought that up. That's all.
Yeah, but you do take pills for your neuropathy, so I don't know what the big fucking deal is, okay? You got neuropathy. Is that like empathy? Give me some. Can I borrow your neuropathy for just a minute and get people up a goddamn ass?
You know, the price of the neuro has dropped precipitously. No, neuropathy, not euros.
I'm from everywhere. When you're from all over the world, you can call euros whatever you want to. All right, Dorit. So Kyle's like, guys, did I say any of those things? Like, did I literally say them? No, I did not. Son's like, who cares? Okay, you know what? You insinuated it. And she's like, I never said anything. And so they're fighting over whether insinuation is really admitting anything, which... Right. This is a whole season of insinuation. We've got the Morgan Wade, insinuating that Kyle is dating Morgan, all this stuff. And the insinuation that Mauricio has done something really terrible, which we still also don't know at this point what's happened. There's just a lot of insinuation. And Kyle will take responsibility for none of that.
I know Kyle gets very mad when Sutton insinuates things, but then when put on the defense... when put in the hot seat, Kyle refuses to admit that she also insinuates. So she, as evidence here, she keeps on saying, I didn't say that. I never said that. And Sutton's like, well, it's understanding your responsibility in the insinuation. You have got to understand this at some point, Kyle Richards. Kyle, you have been relentlessly mean to me.
And Erica's like,
I don't think I'll show you mean, bitch.
And I like that Sutton's kind of taking Kyle's weapons away from her by using them against her first, because that is Kyle's phrase, mean. That's what Kyle says. You can't call Kyle Richards mean. How dare you? When Kyle's in trouble, she says, you guys are so mean to me. You were so mean. Everybody here is so mean to me. And now Kyle is taking the mean stick and beating Kyle with it, right? So now it's a mean off. So Kyle's like, when was I mean? Like, name one time. Name one time. Name one time. Name one time. I was like, Jesus Christ, the corners of her lips, she's not even going to have a corner of her mouth. She's just always going to have O-face. So Sutton's like, what, as Denise would say, watch the show and stop saying my jacket's upside down when it's not. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. Thank you. You're welcome.
And also, quick, make this rat turn here. I think Big Pharma's following us. So Kyle's like, oh my God. And Sutton's like, yes, you have to watch it. So Sutton's like, if you can't take responsibility, it's going to make me insane. She goes, well, why don't you learn to shut up sometimes and listen, Sutton? It was extremely hurtful at that dinner party to sit there and be grilled about my marriage. And now Sutton goes, but I didn't say anything about your marriage. Remember 2 seconds ago? I was just
like,
asking
you're mean.
questions.
No, you're mean. No, you're insinuating. No,
I
you're
didn't say
insinuating.
it. I didn't say it. Well, I didn't say it. But you said this. I didn't say that. But you said this. I didn't say that.
So Andy's like, okay, where do we go from here? It's almost over. People are sleeping on their couches. Okay, are we going to make up? And so Kyle's like, I love Sutton. I mean, I do consider her my friend. I love Sutton as much as Sutton loves Belvedere. That's why it hurt me so much when she was mean to me. And it may take some time, but I don't see it as something we can't fix. I mean, I might be a lesbian now, and I'm good at fixing things, stereotypically. I don't know if it's true because I'm too new. Or am I? I don't really even know. Am I insinuating something? Oh, God, stop being mean to me.
Listen, we're going to be fine. I think we both know that. Our heart's in the right place. Plus, I'm still very wealthy, so that means she's going to kiss up to me no matter what. So we'll be totally good.
I'm getting teary. Andy. I miss Kyle. So, okay, you too.
You know what it's like? Like when your Roomba is dead and you're like, God, this floors are getting dusty, but then finally it finishes charging and can leave its port again. That's what I feel like with Kyle. I'm just so ready for her batteries to turn back on again. I miss you so much.
And Kyle's like, yeah, I mean, I miss talking to her too. That's why I was just so upset. Sounds like I was upset too. I miss you, Kyle. Are you insinuating that you miss me? Are you insinuating that you miss me? No, you're mean.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So they hug. Andy's like, well, maybe you guys should hug it out because that just solves everything, right? So they hug. And it's like they're like happy and everything. And he's like, all right, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to take a break and then we're going to bring your friend out, quote unquote. Okay, what are we waiting on? Is Kathy coming? Did I just ruin the surprise right there? Where's Kathy Hilton?
And they're like, is Kathy's coming? What? Wow. What?
So we're standing by to mic Kathy. Okay, Kathy's not mic'd? Like, what? Andy's like so offended that Kathy's not ready yet. Meanwhile, Kathy's the only one in this entire cast who's going to the Oscars. Like, she's the only one who's going to the Vanity Fair party. And he's like, why isn't she ready for me? I'm like, you're on Kathy's show now. She's not on your show.
Also, Kathy is getting made up to look like the tree woman from fucking Into the Woods. They're putting so much, like, contouring and shit on her. Are people supposed to come out looking like Abe Lincoln? Why are you carving people like this? They literally look like they're carving her out of a log of wood backstage.
If you know what you know, la 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 la. Paris is Cinderella then?
Huh?
Does that make Paris Cinderella?
Well, one could say. So, yeah, she just looks crazy, and I just love Garcelle doing her greatest hits from the season, because I feel like if they put a compilation of Garcelle's greatest hits for the season, it would just be, what? Wow, oh, and a solid.
And then the little smirk when she says something shady in the confessional. So Kyle's joking like, oh, well, Kathy's coming out. I guess we should wrap up the show. Bye, guys. And Kyle's like, I haven't even cried yet today. Well, you're about to. Yeah. So
and then we cut to
like,
Kathy, and she's like standing on the stairs of her trailer like Norma Desmond in a glittery dress, and everyone's just surrounding her with cameras, and it's just gays like going click, 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 click.
You look gorgeous. You look amazing. You are fucking gorgeous. I bet this girl could do a jeté. I bet this girl could do a jeté. Am I right, bitch? Mikey, stop kissing Kathy's ass, all right? Just because I'm a little lower budget now. Jesus Christ, you needy queen.
Kathy's like, now remind me, this is the opening of a new Popeyes in Culver City, right? Like, no, you're at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. I'm not following.
Never. How dare you put Kathy at a Popeyes?
Listen, she just did a commercial for Uber Eats or something, right?
Oh, did she?
Wasn't she just on a commercial? She
I
just
don't
did
know,
a
but what was
commercial.
the fast food place that she loved in Palm Springs? Taco Bell, right? Isn't she a Taco Bell fan? Oh no, it was the other one. Damn it! How could we forget this?
Kathy
What-
did Smirnoff Smashed Ice.
What fast food does Kathy Hilton get in Palm Springs? Oh my God, we're Kathy and the Crackers. Okay, that's not my question, people. Okay, someone tell me please in the comments because it's going to make everybody involved crazy that I brought it up and cannot answer, and neither
Yes,
can
she
Google.
did.
Damn
It wasn't
it.
Taco Bell. Was it Del Taco?
Del Taco. It was Del Taco.
Del
God, you're
Taco.
good. That's why I said the other one. You know, it's
Sorry,
like
I was still-
It's like Yolanda Foster's Children of Fast Food.
The other one. Well, I was
Taco
just
Bell,
still
the
trying to
other
figure out
one.
my own mystery of what commercial she did. It was not Uber Eats. It was Smirnoff Ice.
Wow, she's fallen hard from the my friend's vodka, my friend's tequila to Smirnoff Ice. Okay, so Andy's like, "You're about to cry because Kathy's coming out and she's a living log." And Carl's like, "Shut up, Andy." So then Kathy is making her entrance onto the stage, and Sutton's like, I am so hot over here. Just everything being insinuated at me, just people being so mean to me. And so everybody's like hugging Kathy and welcoming her to the stage, etc.
Yeah. And Kathy Hilton, welcome back to the last place we thought we'd see you again, sitting next to your sister at the reunion stage. Ha! Great to see you. A lot to unpack here, right?
Why is Kathy here?
Kathy is here because Kyle and Kathy made up, and Kyle knows she's most likable when she is in the shadow of Kathy. She is doing it to bolster up her side of the sofa. She is doing it to get some goodwill. That is why Kathy is there.
Okay. So I just think it's amusing that she's like bringing Kathy on to give her support after. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. I thought Kathy was going to be coming with some kind of information, but I guess Kathy's there to prove that she's got Kyle's back. Or is she brought on because Kyle's like, see, Mauricio screwed over Kathy, and now Kathy can say it without me having to say it. Because when Kathy does start to say it, and Kyle's like, oh my God, you mean when he took your business? I mean, I don't want to talk about business right now. I don't want to talk about business.
Right.
But he was
Yeah, I mean,
justified
Kathy's
in taking your business. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Kathy is basically just a ratings ploy. But by the way, I hope this means that we get Kathy next season on the show because I know you're actually not as big of a Kathy fan as I am, but I really enjoy her on the
Kathy.
show.
I thought she was
Well, I
super
know you
fun.
like her, but I feel like you also
I'm not
were
like a
of the
stan.
mindset of like, listen, she's not God's gift to the housewives.
Well,
right?
yeah, people were like putting her on their shoulders and being like, "Oh my God, I stand. Kathy's amazing." And then I was like, "Oh, she's kind of a terrorist." And then the second that Paris show came back on, people were like, "Oh my God, Kathy's a terrorist." People, stop lionizing these monsters. Who thought Kathy Hilton was really a nice person? I mean, I liked her because I know she's not a nice person. You know, that's what I want to see. Bring on the mean Kathy. So we don't get that today, unfortunately. But we do get a Kathy dressed like she's about to do follies. It's like a lot of glitter, a lot of sequins going on. And so she's like, oh, it's so good to see all of you. Poor people. And so he's like, how does it feel sitting next to your sister? And she's like, I mean, it feels fairly good. You know, things happen for a reason. I'm here because, of course, I wanted to see everybody. So I'm seeing everybody. And I don't watch the show, but I do watch all the clips of the show. So that's been
clips.
something.
Just the clips.
Yeah. On, you know, the interwebs or whatever.
Okay.
I was like, the interwebs. Come on.
All right, so you only watch the clips. No, well, I also watch What Happens Live. I like that because it goes by so quick, especially when I fast forward over really all of it. It's just a fast, like, nice to see if that fast forward button even works still. Really fun.
So he's like, wow, you guys are doing so great, but Kyle and Kathy's relationship's been under the microscope forever. Kathy, it seemed like you closed the door on your relationship when you changed the code to your gate and Kyle could no longer get in. So how's that going for you? And then we see a Kyle versus Kathy montage.
Right. And it's a Kyle versus Kathy, but then it's also like, oh, friends, people decide to stay as friends with Kathy and all that stuff. So Andy's like, okay, well, we'll get to you two coming together. But Erica, you said some women in this group fear Kathy because she holds access to everything that they want. She can lock you out of Beverly Hills or lock you out of parties or lock you into basements, actually. I should just lock anything anywhere. So what's the deal with that, Erica?
And Kathy's like, oh, be careful, am I right? Oh, that was hilarious. That was actually so hilarious that you said that, Erica. I actually took a clip of that and I sent it to everybody. I know. They know not to fuck with me.
By the way, if anyone wants to visit the Getty Center, it's closed for the next month because a docent was mean to me.
Estelle Getty was mean to me before she passed, so I'm taking it out on the museum all these years later.
Ever wondered where?
That's what I do.
Ever wondered where all those Getty stations are? They're closed because of me. She just has a vendetta against all things named Getty.
I don't really know any more Gettys.
That's the three of them. It doesn't. And the Getty Center and Getty's gasoline are kind of linked anyway.
And Estelle Getty. That's it.
The Getty Villa. Hey, looking forward to seeing the Getty Villa. Well, guess what? I burned that bitch down.
I was still so mad after I got the Getty closed that I actually firebombed Mr. Gaddy's, which I believe is a sushi place. Pizza, Kathy. Pizza. Mm-hmm. Couldn't find any more Gettys. So
Hey, good luck renting the VHS copy of Get Shorty because it's gone.
Tell you, who's never coming over, Victoria Gotti. Fuck her. Close enough.
You know what? Victoria Gotti walked so that way Dina Manzo could also walk. They sort of look the same, right? If you think about it.
They're way too connected to ever run. Either one of them. Okay, so Erica's like,
well, here's what I meant. She's Beverly Hills, you know what I mean? And she sets the standard of Beverly Hills. And there's a lot of women. I mean, you don't want to run crossways with this one. Am I right? Do I care? Am I giving the face that I care? Yeah.
I love that Erica is coming on just officially wearing a dress that is in the form of a shrug.
It is.
Say that last week, but I don't know why it makes me laugh. Her dress has her in a constant.
What'd I do? I mean, I don't know. I didn't know what the fuck Tom did. How was I supposed to know? You know, now I'm vindicated. I told you all I was right this whole time.
It's like just got this constant fucking shrug.
Well, what's also so interesting about this is that Erica's just kind of like laughing, like, yeah, she's a power bitch. I mean, like, listen, you look at her the wrong way. She makes sure you're not allowed into Dodger Stadium. She's got all the power in the world. Ha ha. But then, like, last year they show her saying it, and she's like, you look at her the wrong way, she'll kick you out of Dodger Stadium. Okay, that's what you're dealing with here, people. So I'm like, what? But now Erica's just, like, laughing about it. Like, isn't this so great and hilarious? Like, I wonder is she just, like, over it? She doesn't care anymore now that Lisa Rinna's gone?
Well, she's not gonna take it back or apologize for saying it, but she's also like, yeah, I mean, what's the big deal? I was just saying you're powerful. Am I right?
I'm just saying you're powerful, and if you want to let me go back to the grill, I would really like to do that because I missed that giant piece of chocolate cake I had 5 seasons ago. So can I get back in that restaurant, please, Kathy?
So then I think that's Pasadena. I don't think Kathy cared, right? Wasn't that a Pasadena restaurant?
I thought they were in Beverly Hills when they did that.
Far. Kathy doesn't care about Pasadena. Kathy's like, that's a 136? I don't, 130 something? 130?
I asked the lady where Pasadena was, and she just shrugged and said, I don't actually work for you anymore. I said, okay.
So then Sutton falls into Garcel on her seat. She's like, whoa! She kind of falls over. And then everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong?
Your
and
ocean
he's
spray
like,
fell out.
You're shaking. And so they're like, call somebody. It's Sutton.
Somebody called Dr. Pepper. So Sutton's like, I'm fine. I swear I'm fine. But she's like shaking, really taking over Crystal's blood pressure storyline there. So that she's shaking, and Kathy's like, oh well, it's a hot flash, Sutton. I mean, you're 49 years old. It's bound to happen. Get over it.
And they're like, you're shaking. Oh my God. The paramedic comes, And then, of course, Anamarie is like, I'm going in, bring me a saw. You're like, ma'am, please don't try and do surgery on somebody. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Get the saw out of my purse, goddamn. All right, you're going to lose your ankle, Sutton, but it's going to be worth it.
Okay, so everyone, based on the size of the trembles in her hand, I would say that she has a class 5 eating disorder. Crystal, why would you say that? Wow, Crystal. Wow.
Ow! Are you sewing a TV guide onto Sutton's elbow? That's what we do, Andy. It's what we do in the medical profession. So,
Yeah.
respect nurses. Respect nurses, Andy.
Just sewing a TV guide. Yeah. If you can't find a bandage, a TV guide is a great thing. That way, you can both heal and find out what the cheers and jeers are for the week.
Do they still have TV guide? The tears and jeers. Oh, memories.
I don't know. I think it exists online, maybe?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I go to TV guide listings all the time when BravoTV.com/schedule isn't updated. Sometimes I'll go to I'll go to the guide. But I don't remember Tears and Jeers. I mean, that was a good one. Okay.
I love my cheers and jeers.
I love the Cheers and Jeers.
They're always wrong.
Those were really good. Now we have Jackal of the Week on the new TV guide. So the paramedics, everyone's like, oh my God. And Anamarie is like, we should call 911 for someone to come get her because she has to get checked out. She just has to get checked out. Okay. Also, I'm going to need her shoulder blade removed. That looks a little pokey. And
Hey, did you just staple a Lifetime magazine to the back of my head?
Lifetime magazine. For some reason, it's just period.
Life magazine. I didn't mean to say Lifetime. Just adding all these antiquated magazines onto Sutton to heal her.
So the paramedic's like, okay, we're going to get you checked out. I don't think it's necessary we call 911, but, we have transport that can take you to urgent care or a hospital. It's a bike. You don't mind bikes, right?
And it's also a veterinarian's office. Are you okay with... Question. Are you okay wearing a halo collar?
And why do you have a Highlights magazine stapled to your forehead? So I'm a doctor. So basically, so everybody is now staring at Sutton like, is she a key? Is she a key? Is she a key? Is she a key?
Maybe she has sudden onset diabetes. So
She was targeted, Andy. Targeted.
Oh, by the way, someone sent us a message, which I thought was a very good point, if this is true, but I didn't fact check it. So sorry. But I just wanted to bring it up. Someone said, how come no one is calling out Dorit when she originally told the story about the $10,000 being stolen out of her grocery cart? She had said that she was at a Target, and now she's making a big deal that she was actually at a Marshall's.
did she say Target or did we say Target?
I don't know. It was just in a DM. I mean,
I think she said
shit.
big box. I thought she said big box store originally,
A
potentially.
big box store? Oh. Well, that's
You know
still
what?
Not Marshall's.
It's still not Marshall's.
Still not Marshall's. Okay, and I didn't want to fact check it because I have so many things to do. Like today, I took grapes off the stem and I washed them and then I laid down. That's what I did before the show.
Wow.
Do you know how hard it is to take grapes off their stem? It is literally exhausting. And this is why people just reach for bread and peanut butter. Because that's what I've been doing for the past week is just eating bread. I'm like, I'm going to have a cheese sandwich. You know why? Because washing grapes is hard. That's why.
Well, you know what?
So,
We were celebrating this week, and you're allowed to have bread when you celebrate, okay? And there were the
sure did.
Oscars, which you're allowed to have bread
I
at Oscar
snorted
time.
fucking a loaf of sourdough with some Munster cheese on it. God bless you.
I too need to cut back on my carbs. I literally just had a bagel about 45 minutes ago.
Well,
I tried a
of course
new
you
bagel
did.
place
It's Bagel
today.
Thursday.
It's Bagel Thursday, guys. I tried a new bagel place. It was great. I also just bought a cookbook called Savory Baking. Like, what is wrong with me? Why do I buy books that, like, I will then there make stuff out of it. I'll then there make stuff out of it. And it's going to be bad for me. I don't know why I do this to myself. But gosh, it looked great.
Well, my point was grapes are hard. Okay. So
How'd you take off your grapes?
Well, one time I was in the airport and I really liked that they serve little Tupperwares of grapes. They're already washed and they're off the stem. And I was like, well, isn't that great? Airports have really evolved that you can get that instead of M&Ms. Not that I wanted to, but I did because that day I made a good choice. So now I do it that way. I have like the little, because I use those little containers anyway. And so I take the grapes. So I get green grapes and I get red grapes, and then I take them off the stem. I destem them all, and then I put them all in a. No, I hold like a thing of them, and then I try and get them just not twist my hand, but kind of like angle my hand back just right so they kind of pop off the stem without breaking off a stem into the hole. So it's a process, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's interesting. I always twist them one at a time. It's like I'm doing a little titty twist. Just go like that and twist them off.
No, I eat a lot of grapes.
You need to do
a lot.
You need to do the grapes en masse.
So I gotta get my hand and like get them off like that. Okay, so it was hard. So Garcel's like, oh, she was saying she was hot. Okay, so Kathy is just completely ignoring this, right? She's just like, whatever. She's shaking. So she's like looking through her phone. And everyone else is like pretending they care, which, let's face it, they don't really. I mean, I know that people online are like, oh my God, I can't believe Kathy was so heartless. Sutton was lying there dying. It's Sutton. Sutton's kind of prone to being a bit dramatic, and I don't think that anybody was really, like, nobody ran after Sutton. Garcel did, that's for sure. And I guess I would have worried about Sutton if I were there, but we know that Sutton's okay, so I can't be bothered,
Yeah.
Like
you know what it's like. When there's like a dinner, when there's like a dinner party or something, and it comes time to clear the dishes, and there's always that one person who's like really into clearing the table, and they're like, I'll do it. And so then there's like, or if there's like 2 or 3 people, and then all that's left for you to clear is like a cup. And so you go into the kitchen while everyone's stacking up the dishes in the sink, and you're holding your one little cup, and you feel kind of silly, and you're like, why am I even doing this? They want to do the dishes. I'm doing this perfunctory thing to show that I'm helping by holding a single cup in my hand while everyone else has 5 dishes.
Oh, so you're the person that does that?
I am. Because I'm also often someone who does a lot of the cooking. But also, to be fair, there are some people who are just very fast about gathering dishes. Like, there are some people who are like, I'm gathering 4 dishes now. And then someone else goes, I'm gathering 4. And I'm like, well, I'll bring in this cup. But then you're just sort of standing there like, well,
I can't believe you're that person that just brings in the cup. We all hate that person, man. Okay, and I love you very much, and I'm never gonna even suggest. But
guess what? The cup people hate
is universally hated. Everyone hates the cup person.
Well, but by the way, the cup people hate the plate people because the plate people go in so quickly that then you're left with a cup, and then you look like a lazy ass.
No, you look.
We
like
are
a
often
lazy ass
framed.
with your little cup.
We are
you
framed.
should look like a diva and just sit out there and not do anything rather than bring in one cup.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what what this is like.
Everybody, I'm sorry, I was lazy. But when you just bring in a cup, it's like, look, I did something when you clearly did not do shit.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, this is what it's like, where you're like, what's even the point of bringing in the cup? That's the point I was getting to, where you sit there with the cup and you're like, why am I even doing this? Because now I look like I'm just faking it when this was all that was left for me to bring in. So it's like, it might as well. So Kathy has got it right. Because Kathy's not even holding the cup.
You wish and you wish what you want and you want what you wish. That's the tree lady from Into the Woods, everybody. Okay, back on track.
I will not. By the way, I will not be shamed for being the cup person. And furthermore, if you do shame me, I fucking don't care.
You don't.
I am the cup person.
Because you're not even in the kitchen long enough to feel the shame. You're just like, bye. You're
yeah.
Back
you know
out,
what? Because guess what? It means that I figured it out. It means I figured out how to.
You're the first one to eat the dessert and be like, oh my God, I love when we can all come together.
I'm the first one to eat the dessert that I made. By the way, that I made. Maybe I didn't bring in the cup because my feet are fucking sore from standing in the kitchen for 3 hours earlier. How about that? I've had it. I've had it. You know what? I will not be shamed.
And then Ben shows up like, I have had it. Ben's new podcast. I've had it too.
I've had it too. The point is, the reason why I brought this up is that, like, at a certain point, if there's 4 people standing over Sutton, it doesn't add, like, Kathy knows there's no reason. She doesn't need to bring the cup into Sutton's kitchen right now. There's no point. So she's just going to sit back and hang out. Because what else is she going to do?
Kathy doesn't bring the fucking cup. And see, this is why that also doesn't work. Because Kathy never brings a cup. She's like, why are people going to the kitchen? Or is everybody here poor? Why would you do that? Kathy ain't bringing a cup. She's just like, tell me when it's dessert time. I don't care who made it.
Kathy knows that Kathy is confident in herself that she knows she doesn't have to get brownie points by suddenly swooping in and bringing in 4 plates to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. She owns the fucking brownies. You know what I mean? And if the brownies fuck with her, she's going to get them kicked off of the brownies, just like Erica said. So Garcel, they're surrounding Sutton or whatever. Everyone's very worried. Now, the rumor, and we talked about this a while back, was our old Queen in a Bar friend said that Sutton freaked out because Kathy came out and was very threatening. And so Sutton suddenly had to go to the hospital. It wasn't obvious that that's what it was, but it was kind of funny that Kathy was like, "Oh, really? Me powerful?" And Sutton's like, "Oh, please," because Sutton was about to get it. Because as she's taken off, Kathy was like, "Oh, I was about to come for her. Isn't that hilarious? I was going to come for her. Oh well, she's gone now. I guess that was a very, very lucky time for that to happen to her."
Listen, no one was more sad than Andy Cohen because now we had no one to go and attack Kyle about Morgan Wade.
Who, Sutton? Oh, because he was making the Morgan Wade thing wait, right?
Well, yeah, but so also
Sutton missed the.
And when the Morgan Wade section comes up, there's no one to be like, "Kyle, just admit it. You're in love. You're a lesbian. You're a big old member of the rainbow LGBTQIA Kyle Richards community." Okay, but
please,
no one's there to do it.
Just stop asking where all the cowboys have gone. Okay, we know you don't care. We know that you're a constant craving girl. Just say it. Just say it. Just speaking in karaoke terms.
Just all our favorite lesbian singers.
Kyle,
we know you are coming to Windows.
Karaoke.
You are. You are the only one. Melissa Etheridge. #.
Okay, so let's see. So she has a panic attack / not eating anything and taking foot medication while she's drinking Belvedere out of her purse fit. I don't know. So she's taken away. And so Erica's stuck next to Kathy, the two people who give the least of a shit, And so Erica's like, "So how you been, Kath?" And she's like, "Good. I love the holidays so much. And I just feel like I didn't really get to enjoy it enough. I mean,
is your tree still up?
Kyle, Kyle, you know how it goes."
Is your tree still up? Is Asher still singing in your living room at all? No, not really.
I just took it down. Asher, too, actually, because he didn't thank me for the last party. He's dead in this town. He'll never eat here again.
So the paramedics take Sutton to, they want to take her to her trailer to lie down. And he's like, "Yeah, okay, well, why don't you just lay down?" She's like, "No, I don't want to lay down. I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, "Well, what? You go lay down." And I just think, you just lay down for a little bit, and maybe you come out after that. Okay. Well, I'm totally fine, but could someone please hold my hand while I walk this short distance? Because I don't have steady feet. I'm just a Southern belle.
Yeah, she has, neuropathy, so that's not good. So they go get her slippers for her and stuff like that. I mean, my thing is, look, she's got high blood pressure. If it is, whether or not it's a panic attack that Kathy is there, okay? Whether or not, I doubt it is. Sutton doesn't seem to be very afraid of anybody. And she had no problem throwing Kathy under the bus when need be this season, as we'll see soon. But I personally don't think it was terror. But the fact is she does have very high blood pressure. She is shaky. You should not be taking her to a trailer. That is the last place a rich person wants to die. Okay? Mm-hmm. Do you know the shit she has put up with in that marriage to not be in a trailer? And now she's looking at the possibility of dying in one. You're not helping the situation is what I'm saying.
It's a good point. It's a nightmare. They should have just had Jennifer Tilly on call just to take her place. She could just actually play the role of Sunstrack. Charmed. So Crystal's like, her pressure is very high. That's as high as mine was. And if we want to discuss that, we didn't really get into it on the reunion here. So anyone want to ask me any questions about what it was like to have high blood pressure in Spain? Anyone? No one.
I mean, look, I kind of get what people are talking about with this season because we've enjoyed it very much, you and I. Because we love talking about this show, no matter what, But there have been a lot of complaints that this season is boring. And really, we come down to the third part of the reunion, and we have this much blood pressure talk. There's a lot of blood pressure talk. Just got to point that out.
Yeah. So Sutton goes out to her trailer. Everyone's like, "You're going to be okay, Sutton. Good luck, Sutton." Yeah, go knock him dead out there.
Okay, so then this is where Kathy's like, "I was about to go after her, and I think she knew that. So it's a pretty good time to have that happen, huh?" And Erica's like,
"Oh, shut up. You're right, though, girl.
So now Sutton goes to her trailer and she asks for something to eat. And they're like, sorry, this is an ocean spray. But we have some orange juice. So, okay, so back on the set. Erica's like, oh, God, everybody's got so much PTSD and trauma this year.
Yes. And so Andy's like, well, that's a reunion first. Okay, ladies, I know that we all want her to get better. And I think the best thing for her to do is lay down, take a break, and we're just going to keep on talking. Okay, all right. I want to go back, though. Erica, you said some women in this group fear Kathy Hilton. And Kathy's like, Carl's not afraid of anybody, not even you.
And Erica's saying,
Well, I'm just an outsider looking in, right? Because it's not my social circle, is it?
and Kathy goes, well, you don't care. I mean, let me say this. You don't give two, I was going to say sense, but you don't have sense anymore, right? What do you have now? What are you dealing with? You don't give two handy jobs about, I don't know, this is getting very uncomfortable. Can I sit next to a richer person?
So we see a flashback of last year with Erica confronting Kathy and, about everything that happened in that club in Aspen. And Erica's like, well, I don't know if it's a good thing or not caring, but I will say this. Kathy, she can pick up a phone and she can make things happen in a very, very graceful way. Have you ever seen her order a pizza on her phone? It is terrifying and beautiful all at the same time.
And Crystal's like, I totally agree with Erica. Kathy is so powerful. She is Beverly Hills. She is Beverly Hills.
Well, do you think there is anybody that we know that thinks that? I mean, can you see me even doing these sort of things? And Erica's like, yeah, but they just don't admit it to you. Everyone's scared of you.
And Crystal's like, I do think so. Yes, it is true. Do you remember when you literally stood at the doorways in front of the live action version of The Lion King? Because I didn't call you back for a couple of days. Like, I'm still traumatized. We actually had to take a loan out for our basement. So
Kathy literally banished all the animals except for an ostrich from Pride Rock. It was so strange. She is so powerful.
My brother didn't go to her Christmas party, and he's in Bangkok now. So I don't know if that's telling you anything, but he was literally dragged out of the country. So
Kathy sent him to Bangkok. Okay. So Andy's like, so Kathy, how does it feel leaving last year's reunion? Did you think that was it for you and Kyle? And she's like, no, never. I'm way too powerful for Kyle to ever just leave me. I knew she'd come crawling back. But my relationship with my sister is more important than any TV show, except for, actually probably most TV shows are more important than Kyle. But you know what though? And for this TV show though, I like Kyle. And I mean, Kyle, think about it. Have we ever had a blow up like that? Okay, I'm gonna hold my fingers. I'm gonna hide them. And if I can count the number of times you've had a blow up like this, can you guess how many? Okay, how many fingers am I holding up, Kyle? How many fingers? How many fingers?
And Kyle's looking around, and she's like, I mean, I guess 3 times? I guess, like 3 times? She's like, yeah, and, like, listen, a TV show's not very important. Well, this is still a TV show. Is this a play? Anyway, I have another TV show, and I think it's bigger than this one, so I don't really care, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
and I just want to point out these 3 fingers. I'm holding up my 3 fingers to show how many times the Con and I have had really bad blowouts. And then Mauricio and I have only really had only one big blowout, so I'll just use my middle finger to indicate that. That's all.
And so she's like, we're sisters. It's going to happen. So Andy's like,
Well, Kathy, it's no secret that Mauricio starting the agency created tension between your families. Let's take a look.
She's like, well, that we see the flashback of Mo on the beach telling Kyle, they don't want to give me a partnership, and I'm out of here, basically. And so Andy reads a section of Mauricio's book, which I forgot that he even had a book.
Yeah, it's actually funny because his book came out at the exact same time as Camille Grammer's book. And Camille Grammer's book is basically just like all of Mauricio's book except every 3 words. It's so strange.
If they paid me what I deserved,
What I deserved.
They showed me an
Showed
inkling
me
of professional
an
love.
inkling of professional
You know, I would have
love.
stayed, but they didn't see it that way.
See it that way. So upsetting.
Yeah. And
It was a really strange audiobook. Like, if you listen to Camilla Grammer's autobiography on Audible, it's like, why is Mauricio narrating it too? It's so strange.
She wasn't even reading Sun Tzu her first season. She was reading Sun Tzu 2.
No, you're
More sun.
enemy.
And yeah, it's like your enemy, and
you know, like,
don't be afraid, and you have to forge your own path because real estate is war, and war is real estate. You know.
So upsetting.
So Kathy's like, well, when Mauricio did leave, I'll tell you this. He left on the Thursday, and Rick said, when are you planning on leaving? And he said, on Friday. So that's how much time he gave Rick. Poor Rick. And, you know, your family, and Rick told him, your family, so just know that opening your own business is tough. And the door here is always open for you. Just please don't poach our staff or our agents. And I'm sorry, the butterscotch in my mouth is actually getting bigger as I tell this story, which is real. I'm so rich that I get butterscotch candy that actually gets bigger as you suck on it.
Yeah, but Rick said, the door is always open for you. Although the door for your new business may not actually open, because I believe Kathy may just solder it shut, maybe just weld it shut, because that's what she does. So good luck with that. And if any bricks wind up going through your windows, just know it was not my wife who did that. Absolutely not my wife.
The door was open, and Mauricio closed the door very hard, and we kept trying to open it because he just kept opening it really quickly and then taking agents out and then closing the door again. And he's got quite a grip on the door, quite a lean there. And he just kept saying, hold the door, hold the door, hold the door. Hold the door. And that's when Hodor died to us, Andy.
Yeah. We have a slogan at Hilton Highland. Slogan goes something like this: poached chicken, not agents. But I guess that didn't land with Mauricio.
So, and he's like, so did he poach? And Kathy's like, I mean, a few, and that kind of put Kyle and I in kind of a funky place. And Kyle's like, well, let me just say, I would just, and she's starting to like tongue the corners of her mouth over and over. And Kathy's like, well, let me say this, Kyle, and you know this, Kyle. She goes, I don't want to get into that stuff. I really don't. I don't want to testify against my husband in a reunion because half of that money is mine. So maybe let's not do that right now.
Also, we need to save some of the good stuff for our Netflix show. So Kathy's like, yeah, but Kyle's like, but we also had people that were under him at the Umansky group at Hilton and Highland. So he had built this whole group within Hilton and Highland. And I don't want to talk about business and stuff like that. Okay. So she's basically like, he created his own rogue army and then took them somewhere else. It's very Game of Thrones.
Right.
Like.
And we kind of all knew it happened. And this clip came out yesterday of the new show, or not the new show, but that Buying Beverly Hills show, which, guess what? Still not going to watch it, okay? I made it through about 15 minutes of that show. It sucks. That show sucks.
I don't know who produced it, but they're terrible at it.
It's a homely version of Selling Sunset. Because at least on Selling Sunset, like, they dress fun. They're fun to watch. Like, they're cartoon characters. This is just like, I don't know.
Kyle's daughters are not meant for TV. Sorry.
No one on that show is meant.
They're not charismatic.
Listen, I only made it through half of an episode, so maybe it gets better.
No, it doesn't.
But I doubt it.
It does not get better.
But anyway, there was a clip released from that show, and it's Mauricio sitting around with all the boys, and he's like, and here's what happened with Rick, which also they haven't talked about all these years, but now, of course, they're going to wait for ratings because they're a TV family. And he's saying, what happened with Rick is that basically he's a $1 billion company, and almost 20% of those sales, that was me. That was me and my team. And so when I wanted to be a partner and he didn't let me, I said, fuck you, and that's what happened. And if that's accurate, good for him, dude. Why shouldn't he? And some people online are like, you're not entitled to blah, blah. If you're bringing in a fifth of $1 billion for a company, yeah, I think you are entitled to ask for.
Well, there was one person who was not satisfied did not appreciate this clip whatsoever, and that person's name is Paris Hilton, because then she went on the internet and was like, I've had like enough. Like enough. Like stop bashing my dad. That's not hot. She's over it. She's over Mauricio.
Yeah, she's like for his lame show. Trying to get attention for his like lame show. It's not hot.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so back to this. God, that was even boring recounting it. I was like, well, it was boring to watch that clip, and the story's kind of boring, but maybe talking about it'll be more fun. It wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Well, hey everyone, I just want everyone to know Sutton is okay, but they're going to take her to the hospital out of an abundance of caution, and Garcel's going with her to the hospital. We're not going to say which hospital it is, so that way Kathy doesn't ban her. All right. Prayers
We don't
for
want
Sutton.
Kathy to defund the hospital. Let's just get one more quote from Garcel. Garcel, one more quote for the road.
Wow, Andy. Whoa. Wow.
All right. I'm just going to grab Garcel and Sutton's phones, and then we've also got some more Merce Cunningham's ashes, so we're going to send that along. And they're like, what? Where there's more ashes? I thought we got rid of all the ashes. Merce is in the purse again? Wow.
For Christ's sake, just let the man rest, would you?
Let the mouse go. Let the Merce go.
Let the mercy go. God, the guy just wants a fucking break. My God. So they're looking, so they get the purse and all that stuff and Merce out of the couch cushions. And
Sutton's now
Kathy goes,
going.
Oh my God, there's somebody there. Well, at least give her a seat.
because she doesn't know that it's a guy they're talking about. It's so Kathy. Just like, give that woman a seat. Dead people. Hilarious.
So, now Garcel's leading Sutton. Garcel and Sutton are in the car, and Garcel's like, well, you want to take off your jacket? No, because then I'll get cold. I don't want to die, Garcel. I don't want to die. And Garcel's like, you're not going to die. You have more people to ruffle feathers with. And even if you do die, I just wanted to let you know, I'm not scattering your ashes in Spain. They're going over Burbank.
I've been working on my speech in case you do die. I'm going to get up there when they ask for people to give a eulogy, and I'm going to stand up there. I'm going to look everybody right in their eye one by one, and I'm going to go, wow. Whoa.
Please, if I do pass, if I do go through those pearly gates, I ask that you bury me in one of my son's vending machines. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so then Andy's like, I want to keep talking. Okay, so how did Kathy and Kyle make up again? And Kyle's like, my niece Whitney got married, and so there was a shower, and then I saw Kathy and the girls for the first time. It was like fine, And we see cell phone footage of Kathy telling Kyle it's not her fault, and they're doing like promo shots with tequila. It's like how famous families come together.
Yeah, they're like a Kemosabe's or something.
Yeah.
Like doing, like she's holding up that what was it called? Casa del Sol or something. Mm-hmm. Whatever the, I wish I would know what it was, but unfortunately Kathy's big promotional moment was ruined by Kyle. Let's never forget.
So Kyle's like, yeah, and then they came to my house in Aspen, and it was like a dinner party, and then it just sort of like broke the ice, and Kathy's like,
It was beautiful. And then the next day, this is so silly. Am I crying? I'm crying, right? Erica, say I'm crying. You're never going to eat in this town
She's
again.
crying.
Erica?
She's crying.
Okay.
I just want the chocolate cake. She's crying.
So, hold on. My lady's coming. Lady, come here. Bend down. All right, thank you.
she's just like taking tears from her tear ducts and putting them.
She has a designated crier.
Thank you. Okay, you can go now. Don't look me in the eye. Okay. Oh, look at the salty things coming out of my eyes. So it was beautiful because this is silly, but in the hair salon, Kyle told me to meet there, and I go, and there's not even music there. Not even music. Now, was there Michael Jackson playing? No. But, I resisted calling Kyle a dirty little F word, and
Turns out they don't understand how to play music in Aspen. That's what I'm learning.
And I just hear Kyle come in, and she goes, "That's my sister, Kathy."
What is this, the end of American Tale?
The musicless salon.
what was this story? It made no sense. She was getting her hair done, and there wasn't even music playing. And Kyle walked by and was like, "That's my sister." And then they reunite.
I think.
What is this like? Is this like the end of The Color Purple? What is happening here?
The end of The Color Purple.
It's like,
The
now
sisters.
I own a dress
Spoiler.
store. See, Carl came back from her homeland, the valley.
So, I think what she was saying was that Kyle invited her to a special let's get our nails done thing, and it wasn't for publicity, and it wasn't all the girls that were invited. It was just Kathy. I mean, it was so private that there wasn't even anybody pressing play on the stereo that day. It was just two girls getting their hair done, being rich enough to have the whole salon shut down for them. That's what I got.
Okay, so I see. And Kyle was like, "No, you get to be part of this experience too." And because Kathy was like, I felt really included in that moment. So like, if a rich lady gets her hair done and no one's there to see it, did she make a noise?
I think Kyle just
Was
made
there
an
music
effort
playing?
to like have some private time with her. I mean, that's how I took
Yes.
it. I have no idea. So then they hug, and Kyle's like, I mean, she was like really happy, like wow, and then like nobody was like there. I'm like, oh my god. And so Andy's like, wow, I don't really get it, but that's nice. So Kathy on Bravo's Hot Mic podcast, which by the way, you're welcome, America, so for knowing now that the producer of this show, Alex Baskin, always has a look on his face like he's half trying to swallow a lemon rind and half smelling a fart. Every time they show Alex Baskin on a clip of this show, he's like this.
You know what's weird?
like
I ate a
grossed
lemon
out.
rind last night. I actually
say
ate
it
a
again.
lemon rind. I ate a lemon rind last night.
Or your body doesn't want to swallow it, but you're like,
Everyone's
I'm
like,
going
is
to.
Everyone was like, is Alex Baskin eating dinner with us?
Okay, so she's like, I was just like so open and honest in that moment, you know.
Yeah, she literally says that. She goes, I was really honest that moment. And I'm like stressed because like, you know, like what did I say in that moment that when we were done? Because like, I don't want that like kicking up everything up in my relationship again. So like, that scares me.
So Kathy's not going to hold anything she said against her there. And then Kyle's like, you know, Kathy goes,
You know, she warned me that she felt bad, but you know, I mean, everyone knows I'm the sensitive one. I mean, I'm 100 times more sensitive than you, Kyle, right? Wouldn't you say so?
and Kyle's like, no, I would not say that. No, I would not say. I mean, Kathy's a monster, right? We all know that Kathy's do monsters feel? They don't.
This is Kathy's way of saying, hey, remember when you torpedoed our sisterhood because I said something out of anger, and now you're going on a podcast hoping that, you know, like the things that you said out of anger aren't going to be held against you. Well, this is me showing that I'm not holding them against you the way you should have not held them against me a year ago.
Mm-hmm. And Kathy's like, well, you know, you're the strong one, and I'm so sensitive. And Kyle's like, well, I guess I may come across as strong, but come on, Kathy. And she goes,
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you're not sensitive. I'm just saying, you know, your vibe is strong. You know, as the kids would say, strong vibes.
Yeah, but yours is like very strong too, and I don't think you realize how strong yours is, Kathy. And she goes, "No, I love you. I feel like you love me very much, and that's what matters the most."
I love that these two raging A-types are like, I'm the sensitive one.
No, I'm sensitive. I think anyone would agree.
No, it's me. I'm sensitive. You're mean.
You're mean. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah. And Kyle's like, I need you. And Kathy's like, I want to be needed. And I do need you. And you've been really, really there for me in an unbelievable way lately. I mean, maybe not as much as like Jamie Lee Curtis, but like it means a lot to me the way you've been there for me.
Okay, so, it's so great seeing Kyle get on track with her sisters, but now her relationship with her husband is hanging on by a thread. So then we get the Kyle and Mauricio montage where they're so in love, and they even put a lock on a fence.
I think this is for love.
In Paris. Right before that wall fell down. We all should have known that the weight of that lock was the straw that broke the camel's back of that lock.
And the bridge.
Yeah.
Truly. Well, that's tough to watch. So at your final party last year, we saw you and Mo on camera, and things between you and Mo seem really good. So when did things begin to change? Is there an event that stands out as beginning of what you called your hard year? What happened, Kyle?
It's like, like with any marriage, there's like issues and like you have, and like they come up, and sometimes you're busy, and sometimes you're hot, and sometimes you're cold. I have babies, so like I have like 6 babies around, and nothing. Waste of my fucking time, Kyle. It's your 3rd fucking hour, Kyle. It's your 20th episode of the year, Kyle. You've made us sit through all of this shit all year, Kyle. Now's your chance. Spit it out.
Yeah, because he's like, but is there something he did? And she just does more of that. Well, like, I care about my family first. And I just, I tried. I really did try. And then when I couldn't, I don't know. And like, it just became more apparent to me. I just couldn't do it anymore. And like, I really thought, like, I don't know, it would come back. But and he's like, and then it didn't come back. It didn't. Because did you want it to? I mean, of course. I wasn't married to this man for 28 years. This was not someone who I had a 25 years still going strong cover picture on the Knot magazine, just to have that be thrown out. I mean, we sent boxes to influencers to celebrate our marriage. We don't want to throw that out, Andy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you just don't fake it, you know what I mean? I mean, who fakes a marriage for decades?
Like, Erica, maybe you're not the one. Maybe you're not the one. So Kyle's like, yeah, anybody knows I did not want to be in this position. So he's like, well, ever since the beginning of the show, there have been rumors about infidelity in your relationship. And wow, were the tabloids correct?
Yeah. And now we now go back to the famous season when they went to Puerto Rico, season 4, I believe. They go to Puerto Rico, and then there's the tabloid gate. That's where Lisa Vanderpump was accused of manipulating Brandy to bring tabloids to Puerto Rico to confront Kyle Richards with cheating scandals.
Yeah. So then Kyle's like, yeah, like that was when the trouble started. And then he would say to me, like, we can't care about that. We know the truth. And, I mean, there's always like this little voice in my head saying, Jamie Lee Curtis loves you. Jamie Lee Curtis loves you. Jamie Lee Curtis loves you. What were we talking about?
By the way, that's a voice I have in my head too. Jamie Lee Curtis loves you. Jamie Lee Curtis loves you. Ben, just remember when things are tough, when people are saying mean things about you, just remember Jamie Lee Curtis loves you. Jamie Lee Curtis loves you.
It's the brain of a very sensitive person.
So Kyle is like, yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis loves me. And Erica's like, you know what? The damage is done no matter what. And,
they're basically saying, like, look, whether it was true or not, the rumors coming up over and over again, it's going to cause trouble, right?
Yeah.
And Kathy's like,
Yeah, I mean, it casts a shadow of a doubt. Hodor.
and Erica's like,
Yeah, it's a campaign of whispers, because whispers are surrounding you, and then that's how things become ugly. They become real ugly when you get older.
are you whispering right now?
Sorry, I can't help it. You fucking bitch, I'm gonna ruin your life. Sorry, I can't stop whispering.
It's a war of whispers. It's a war of whispers. Where's Varys? It is still very Game of Thronesy the way they're talking.
It is,
So Andy's like,
Little
bird, my little sparrows. Did he say sparrows or little birds? What was his thing?
I think you're right. One was little sparrows, and then
Annie Lennox's little birds.
I look up to you.
Okay, I will stop. I'll control myself. Andy then says, he's like, so did these rumors just kind of like chip away at your trust? And she's like, yes, they did. And they made me feel insecure. And Kathy's like, well, people, when you're high profile, something that Kyle's only recently experienced, but, some of us have been in this position for about 20 or 30 years. But when you're new to it, like Kyle, they're going to say this and that, and they're going to make up stories, unless, of course, they're true in Kyle's case.
I mean, they just want to hurt you. That's all they want. Everybody wants to hurt you. Everybody's mean. Everybody's mean, Andy. Or your husband's been fucking around on you a lot. I mean, what? Like, what the hell? Now everybody else is just mean for printing gossip. I mean, come on.
It's true though. Like people will go out of their way to hurt someone and hurt their marriages. Like, for instance, I was watching this one show where this one person brought on Brandy Glanville to ruin Denise Richards' marriage. Who was that again? I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember. I think there was some lesbian shaming in it though, which was
Lesbian
sort of
shaming.
weird.
Yeah.
That was
So,
super
God, I
weird.
would hate for that to
thankfully,
happen
we're not
to
talking
Kyle.
about them today because that was mean.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Especially because Denise has kids. So
Denise has kids.
I'm
yeah.
glad that no one here would disrespect someone with children like that. We would have to watch that on TV.
And I'm glad when Denise said it's none of your business, that whoever brought that up was like, no, we're going to still make it our business for several episodes and be confronting about it. Yeah,
because this is a show, and that's what the girls do. Yeah, I'm glad there's no one to act like that.
yeah.
Oh, that would be terrible. So Kyle's like, yeah, and we could see you struggling this year, especially as Mauricio's professional obligations expanded. And I did not have it on my bingo card ever that Mauricio would be on Dancing with the Stars. That blew my mind. Harder
Tell
than
me
whoever
about
his
it.
dance partner probably blew him. I mean, who are we kidding? Am I right? Those two are banging.
I'm loving the role that Dancing with the Stars is playing on Bravo these days. Really
It's
rattling
having a
these
strong
casts.
week. It's having
Yeah.
a very strong week.
So I love that Kyle would not have allowed Mauricio to go on Dancing with the Stars because she would have been too jealous of.
What was that? That was
so, by the way-
weird. So Kyle's saying, they're saying, I can't believe you would let Mauricio go on Dancing with the. First of all, he's an adult. I don't think he needs.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that when you're in a marriage, I guess you do kind of need each other's permit. Would you call it
Nothing-
permission? I mean, I don't know. I'm never in one, so I don't know how it works. But
I'm sorry. Nothing says secure motherfucking relationship like being jealous of your husband going on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, come on now. Come on.
yeah, I didn't understand this. And so she's like, if our marriage was in the place that it was, I wouldn't have let him. But now that our marriage was kind of breaking up or whatever, then I don't care. What do I care?
Supposed to be you're supposed to not care either way. It's ballroom dancing.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Kyle, I think she just can't help but show, let the mask slip a little bit because it was weird. And so Kathy's like, well, it's not like you would be jealous. And she goes, oh, yes, I would be jealous. And so then he asks a question. He's like, oh, Toluca from Lake says Mauricio dedicated a very suggestive dance to with his partner to you, Kyle. And he's obviously disrespecting you and calling you a dumb, stupid, dumpy whore by doing that. Wouldn't he be like, oh, this is like fucking. I'm going to dedicate this to my wife, Kyle. Do you think he was being evil? I mean, I don't know. I didn't take it that way, but maybe he
It's hard to
was. I
say.
don't know.
It could go in so many different ways because Mauricio is a little bit of a politician. So he could dedicate something intimate. So it looks like he's like this caring guy. Like, what was conscious uncoupling, sort of promote that idea that they're doing that. But it could also be a fuck you. Like, yeah, like you could have had this, Kyle, but you don't. Ha.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't even thought of it like that. I mean, I
neither.
thought he's blatantly cheating, but this was also the time where Kyle was parading Morgan around and blatantly cheating with Morgan on TV. Like,
That's the
making
thing.
So that's what I'm so confused about, because she's acting like he did the most hurtful thing to her, but she's been doing that the whole season to him. But I guess it's okay because she would be getting revenge on him doing it first. Is that what we're? I can't tell because nothing's being told to us. I'm not questioning it. I think probably Mauricio did have an affair and that this whole thing is spinning out because of that, but we don't know, right?
All I know is that if Kyle were invited to be on Dancing with the Stars, she would 100% seize the opportunity, and I think Mauricio would not give a fuck. So
No, he would be there every night supporting her, as she was him. She was there all the time supporting him too. I just think it's so sad because things in life really are patterns, and Kyle is not only second choice; she's third, because Lisa, then Mo, and then Kyle.
So Erica is, she's like, well, all of Dancing with the Stars is suggestive. I'm sorry, look, when you're doing the waltz, your pelvises are together. The whole thing is partners, it's penis and vagina, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, who doesn't go on Dancing with the Stars and get their pussy eaten out on stage? Am I right?
So he's like, well, he's like, how'd you take it? Did you see it? She goes, it was very hard for me to watch. It was very hard for me. And Erica's like, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have cared. So
Now,
as I
this
think
is where it
most
gets to me
people would.
because I wouldn't have cared because it's a sexy dance show. That's what they do on their show. It's but I wouldn't have
not that
cared
sexy.
about that. Yeah, well, but like they have you rubbing up. You're supposed to be sexy with each other. That's the point of the show. That's the point of the dancing. Like the salsa and the rumba and all that, where you're like rubbing up. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad at that. It's the holding hands with his partner after in the parking lot or whatever. Like he was clearly banging his partner. I mean, come on.
Clearly.
Yeah.
The holding the hands, that's like a thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, listen, I'm obviously not Kyle's biggest fan, but that was blatant, And if she hadn't spent the whole time, kind of doing the same thing with Morgan, I guess it would be
right. That's the thing.
It would be worse, but
that is the thing. Is that like that was a blatant Mauricio saying like I'm banging this lady. But to be fair, Kyle has been literally tattooing K's onto Morgan, doing the music videos and this and that and XYZ. So
oh, don't worry though, because surely she's at least going to be honest about the music video part.
Yeah, that's true. Of course she will, because she's open and honest.
So he's like, so what does it feel like watching him party with all these young people in Aspen? And she's like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God, what are you doing? So, Pee-Pee on the poo-poo says, Kyle is dancing around the reason for a split. Kyle, what is the real reason? Just spit it out. Why won't you just spit it out, Kyle? And she goes, because it's nobody's fucking business. I was like, oh, okay. Well, there we have it.
That's
okay,
convenient.
fired.
That's real convenient that all of a sudden, none of her business. Okay, Kyle, the nosiest cast member for 13 years, all of a sudden wants privacy. And by the way, as a regular human being, of course, it is literally none of our business. It is a marriage that's falling apart, that has fallen apart, and there's kids involved. It's no one's business. But the hypocrisy of Kyle Richards being the one to do that, when she has needled into everyone's business, run people off this show, and exposed people's bullshit, it's rich. It's rich.
Yeah. So Andy's like, okay, so you're separated but living under one roof. And also, it's all going to come out on his show, which has got to piss off Andy. It's really got to piss him off. They gave more in 2 seconds of that preview for his show than they did on this show. And she's still not going to give it at the... I can't believe she gets away with that. So they're talking more about their separation, but literally I don't give a fuck because she's lying about every single thing or refusing to answer anything. So her girls are supportive, and it's very difficult because they have children, guys. So then Kathy kind of echoes all of that, and she's like, it's hard being married and then you're devastated. And, I could tell 3 years ago there were things wrong because Kyle just became a total insufferable bitch. I mean, Kyle's always been kind of insufferable bitch, but whoa, 3 years ago, everything changed. I mean, she started wearing those stupid kemosabe hats and, getting tattooed. Oh, she's just horrible human being, Kyle. 3 years, right, Kyle? 3 years?
Yeah, well, that's actually not correct timing with my marriage, to be honest. Although it is correct timing with me being in the Halloween movies again. So it's hard to say. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, huh?
And then Kathy is talking about how it seems like she's talking about Mauricio because she's like, someone starts getting a little success and then you don't see him anymore. And, Kyle, like you've been doing great and you've been traveling all over the place, even without housewives. Kyle's like, wait a minute. You're supposed to be here to support me. Kathy's like, yep, 3 years ago, Kyle basically dumped Mo and started traveling all over the place because she started to find some success.
Right. And Andy's like, so the separation's definitive? Do you talk about divorce or are you taking it one step at a time? And Kyle's like, well, it's hard for us to say that word, I think, divorce. Well, I guess I just said it. But if he's looking for a place to stay, like, I haven't really seen any progress. And, like, we get along, but like friends. By the way, this is bad for Mauricio's brand. Like, you still haven't been able to find a house? That's literally your job.
That's why it's hard to believe anything that they're saying.
How do you not
can't find a house? He has the choice of every home that comes on the market.
He knows. He knows every single house. Also, like, how do you already not have a house picked out? Let's be honest. The marriage is crumbling. It's heading towards divorce.
Kyle's whole storyline is how much she loves shopping, but she's not out like excitedly looking for a new house to start her new chapter.
That's true.
Not buying it.
Not buying it.
But what does that mean, not buying it? You know, that's my question to myself. I keep saying I'm not buying it. I don't think they're faking marital problems or cheating on each other or doing whatever. I just think that they're like,
Not buying this, like they're living amicably under the house and like they are still everything's still friends. It's more like I'm not buying that this is the full story.
Yeah.
I believe that this marriage has fallen apart because I believe in Alison Dubois, and we always knew this would happen. But
fan,
like
I'm a
we
big
just
medium
feel
fan.
like there's more to the story. We feel like there's more to the story with Morgan. We feel like there's more to the story with Mauricio and the women. There's always more to the story, and there's holes in the story, and there's gaps, and there's things that don't make sense. And yet Kyle, the ambassador of openness and honesty, is suddenly very mum on all the details.
So then we get to the Morgan segment, finally. And everyone's like, oh my God, you're America. It's like your electricity. You have like so much electricity, you guys. Oh my God, the chemistry. Which literally I've heard nobody say, but I'm glad
No
that
one
they
said
found a
that.
couple people. Nobody.
No one.
But they're like, wow, you guys went to a tattoo parlor together? What the hell? Fork from plus spoon equals spork, says Kyle. Whoa, chemistry. Wow. And so then we see a clip of that scene of getting the tattoos and all that stuff. And the first time we met Morgan, I like shrimp, boiled shrimp, baked shrimp, fried shrimp, grilled shrimp,
Kyle.
shrimp.
You look like you'd be a little crazy. Oh, Kyle. Kyle. Kyle.
And Kyle's like, really? I'm fiery, not crazy. Okay. Everyone knows I'm the sensitive one. Bah! So then they talk a little bit about all this chemistry and stuff. And he's like, so who here thought that they were together? And everyone's afraid to answer, which I think is funny because they always make it out to be Kathy, who's the scary one. But no one will say when Kyle was trying so hard to get them all to ask all season and they still won't say. So
Right.
Crystal's like, okay, I'll just go ahead and say it. I did. Fine, I did.
And Kyle goes, oh, you did? From the tabloids? Well, where else do you think, what? Like, it's not
That
like
you
that
called.
Crystal got invited to like intimate dinners between the two of you. You guys were all over the
You
tabloids.
called every day, Kyle.
Crystal's like, well, I thought before because I was sent stuff, and Kathy and I we were sent stuff, and Kathy's like, yeah, we had lunch one day, and Crystal was kind of like, hey, look at your sister, is she a lesbian now? And I said she always has been. Let's be honest.
She just sat down and said, listen, I'm going to ask you some softball questions here.
So Crystal's like, yeah, I just thought it was like very low key, and by low key, I mean really blatantly obvious because you were putting it all over the press and your Instagram. But like, people sent me stuff and I was like, okay, they're together. And Kyle's acting all offended, like shocked that anyone would ever think this.
How dare you? Yeah. And so then he asked Anamarie a question, but I don't care. And then Andy's like, so Garcel and Sutton also.
Wait, I have to say this about Anamarie. So Anamarie, they're clearly just like phasing her out, but they have to give her something. And so Andy's like, Anamarie, you said on the after show that Kyle found someone in Morgan who makes her feel loved. And then in an effort to like find something to have Anamarie do, we get to a clip of Anamarie going, I think that Kyle found someone who supports her and makes her feel loved. It's like literally an exact phrase that Andy just, it was such a redundant clip, but they're like, we got to find something to throw Anamarie into before we wrap up
Well,
this
it's
episode.
also so sad because isn't she in the after show alone? Like everybody else.
She's like
is-
alone.
Yeah, everybody else they pair up with somebody to talk to, and she's just sitting there alone the whole time.
It's literally like saying, hey, Anne-Marie, we heard on the after show that you said you really enjoy yogurt and you don't like cats. And we see a clip of her saying, I really enjoy yogurt and I don't like cats.
Hey, cats love yogurt.
So thanks for that clip.
So then he's like, but we also had interesting parts of the after show. Hold on, let's cut to Alex Baskin's face. Okay, now to Garcel and Sutton. They had some thoughts. And so Garcel's like, wow, Kyle would drop a couple of things that she did with Morgan. And I would thought, wow, going to the doctor? Whoa, that's just, that's so personal. And then we cut back. And Ken from Barbie says, I feel like Kyle has a big girl crush on Morgan. Just ask her. Just ask her the fucking question, for Christ's sake. There's been 5 pages of this.
I know. So Kyle's like, that's ridiculous, okay? Oh, because the other one is like, oh, it seems like the only reason why Morgan is friends with Kyle is that she likes the Clout. That's ridiculous. She's a critically acclaimed musician and shrimp lover. She does not need me.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure she does great at her job and everything, but Andy has a point when he's like, yeah, but she's kind of a household name now, right? I mean,
Well, like I said, she cares about making music and she is willing to give up being a household name just to be able to keep making her music and not have that scrutiny. She's a sensitive soul and an artist.
yeah, she's on red carpets with you in front of me, cameras flashing with her arm around you and rubbing your. Come on, give me a fucking break with this. So Crystal's like, okay, so what about the music video then, Kyle? When did you decide to do that? And she goes, why? Why or when? Why or when? When or why? I mean, I don't like this. What are you insinuating? You're mean. And she's like, when? And so Kyle's like, well, I mean, that was like done. Let me see. When was it done? I want to say, you know exactly when it was fucking done. You planned the music video.
Yeah. It was like about like a month before the story about like Mo and me broke. About like I mean like so like once the story came out about Mo and me, like we're like not, we would never make the video after that. But like I mean it's like I don't know, like we don't know what you're saying. This happened a month before, and okay, I don't know the timeline of people's separations, etc. But in this slowly decaying marriage, you're saying a month before you did not see a separation coming. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this. She's saying after she would not have made this video after the separation because it would have been disrespectful or would have fueled all sorts of tabloid stuff or whatever. But it's like a month before, it also doesn't really make much of a difference. That's what I'm saying. It's like you sort of had to know the separation. You were on the brink of separation right then and there.
Well, it's also, she's also making this whole thing like, well, it wasn't supposed to be that. She said, you know, if she comes on Housewives, then I have to do a music video for her. So I was like, sure, but I didn't know what the music video was until I got there. And then I found out it was this romantic thing, but I didn't know about that. And so I had to just like really get comfortable with it. You did know. You knew what the fuck. Oh, come on.
And no one cares.
This is when I'm yelling at the TV because she's just such a fucking liar. And that's what makes me crazy. Like, who cares, Kyle? You're obviously doing it for publicity. And when at the time, I remember reading articles when she's like, if everyone's going to have these rumors about us anyway, we might as well poke fun at it. Why don't you just say that? It's the obvious truth. Why are you acting like you got tricked into doing this video, but then you had to like decide if you were okay with the gayness of it? And na. Stop pretending it's not some journey and that Morgan doesn't have a song about doing coke off your stomach at the fucking Chateau Marmont while you're banging, okay?
Well,
or
they
another
showed...
one about banging on the kitchen floor. Well, I think the kitchen floor one came out at a different time. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, they showed the clip of her saying, well, if they're going to talk, you might as well give them something to talk about, right? So she's like laughing about that. And then when people talk about it, she's like, I can't believe you guys would like be talking about this. Like, it was a video. I had no idea what it was going to be about. Oh, my God. So she's it's just like the way that she's trying to constantly change the narrative. If she had said, we're making fun of it, we'd be like, okay, cool. Or if she said, you know what, I'm exploring this side of me. Like, I kind of do think she's hot. You know, we'd be like, more power to you. But it's the fact that she kind of is hedging so much. Yeah. It's very frustrating to watch.
She's making
as someone who is
the victim
always saying
something
open and
that
honest.
was her thing. You know what I mean? So like she's even trying to be a victim about this. It's like, Kyle, be empowered for once in your fucking life. Like, have some personality that's not just based about being a fucking victim, for Christ's sake. I mean, this is, and we've said this a million times, but this is the season she could have had even me on her side. Just being like, you know what? It
started off that way.
This fucking cheating fucking guy. Fuck him. I'm getting rid of him. And guess what? I'm going to dip my toes in the lady pond and date this girl. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. That's... hero, instant fucking hero.
The season started that way. I remember in the beginning of the season, I was like, you know what? I feel like this is a really good Kyle season. I feel like she's finally like dropped the bullshit. She's making choices for herself. She's being authentic, and I feel like I'm seeing growth. But then she kind of just slid into classic Kyle ways of hypocrisy. So Andy's like, okay, $1 million question. Is there anything? Okay, Erica, you can put your lady boner away. Just. It's not an actual $1 million you get. Okay. Is there anything going on between the two of you? Kyle's like, no.
Are you a couple? Do you have feelings for her? I mean, she's my friend and I love her. You didn't know they were going to ask you this stuff today, Kyle? Really? So Kathy's like, well, I mean, I've hung out with her. I think she's so funny. She's bright. She's humble. I can't understand a word she said. She did start fishing in one of my centerpieces, which I thought was odd. It was a punch bowl.
Fun fact.
She said she likes to live off the land. I said, well, technically that's water. But okay, I guess the water's on land.
Fun fact, it doesn't matter where you are in the room. If you throw a little shrimp her way, she will catch it with her mouth.
Did you know that she named over 300 kinds of shrimp?
Unfortunately, we had to tell her the pillows were not shrimp.
She left with thread in her teeth. But, you know.
I was going to send her a bill for getting all those cocktail sauce stains on our pillow, but we thought, you know what, we'll cover it.
Okay, so now Andy tries again. He's like, so could you see yourself with Morgan? She's like, I don't know. I mean, and Andy's like, okay, well, that's not a no then. She goes, well, I'm evolving and I'm changing. And like, clearly I'm going through an evolution, which is a production company, by the way. Cut to Alex Baskin. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll find out next season. You know, it's the next season journey, Andy. So it's more of a next season kind of a journey.
Well, maybe next year she'll be out here on the couch with us. Who knows?
Well, especially if you tell her the couch is a giant shrimp.
Okay, noted. Well, I'm going to just leave it there. And God, this is so strange because Garcel and Sutton and Merce's remaining ashes are in an ambulance on the way to the hospital, and we're all praying for Sutton. I'm just glad she's getting help from whatever that was. So, I don't know. What do I do? Gotta kill time, guys. Gotta kill time.
So now it is the time to finish up. So Andy's like, what did we learn from the season? And Anamarie's like, well, I think what's most important is I'm a doctor. Thank you. And Crystal is like, I shouldn't be able to speak up because my voice is strong.
Yeah, or be afraid to speak up.
Erica, I'm okay. Like, I'm proud that I showed up for myself. It's been hard, but I feel so much better. Okay.
Why
Kathy,
are you
what have you
struggling?
learned?
I don't know, Andy. I don't fucking know. Okay.
Kathy, what have you learned from your season? And by season, I mean the past 20 minutes you've been out here.
Well, I've learned that this was actually still on television, which I think is funny. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Never going to watch this show. Does anybody watch this show? Hilarious. Mauricio sucks. And that's about it. Okay.
Dorit, what about you? You've been pretty quiet this hour.
It's because I'm being followed. I've been followed, Andy. I was wearing a hood, which has been stolen by 3 men who followed me from the parking lot.
Andy just yawns again.
That was
Clearly
funny.
just to fuck with her.
He yawns again. She's like,
She asked me the question, Andy. I can't even answer the question.
No, I just go, sorry. Just listen, just if somebody is being nice and someone is, makes me feel like we're friends, I believe it. And I think I have to be a little less naive.
Coil.
and he's like, so obviously you're talking about Garcel. And she's like, I am.
Oh.
I mean, I can't even believe that Garcel's gone and she's still yelling at me from that side of the couch. Can anyone hear her?
Kyle, I'll let you have the last word.
And she's like, well, I may have lost what I felt was my happily ever after. I am strong enough, and I will have my happily ever after, no matter what, no matter what.
Wow. Boring. So that's it. Sutton's still alive. And then Kyle flew to Nashville to see Morgan in concert. And we see a headline from Reality Blurb that says, Kyle Richards sits front and center at Morgan Wade's concert as Insider talks Morgan's alleged snub.
Yeah, and Kyle and Mauricio are still living separate lives under the same roof while he continues his search for his new home, which is bullshit because he literally knows every single house in LA County and
still not
apparently
buying it.
various different countries and including Portugal. So there's got to be a house somewhere that he loves.
Yeah, so that's a wrap on that season. I thought overall it was a pretty good season.
I liked it, actually. I liked the season a lot. I thought it was good.
Pretty good.
I was involved.
So that's, that means it is changing over for us over here at Watch What Crappens. Miami's gone. Beverly Hills is gone. Jersey's coming back. Summer House is back. Vanderpump Rules is back. It's just
Other Summer House is back.
Other Summer House is coming back. The Valley's coming next weekish. So it's going to be some pretty good times over here for us.
Yeah.
Y'all's is.
It'll be excellent times. So thank you all so much for being here and for listening. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.